Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk. Hey, Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, welcome everyone. How you doing, Phil? Rocking and rolling?
Yeah, rock and rolling. I actually think I did the live stream. I think I started the show right, didn't I?
You did it perfect.
I did.
It's perfect, brother.
And I was going to wear my hat, but Jocelyn said she didn't like how it messed my hair up. So it's cold enough for this hat today, isn't it?
It's beautiful. This is my being born and raised here in Tampa. This cool weather is phenomenal. It gets me invigorated.
It's 64 degrees for you folks who aren't in Tampa, and for us, that's a little chilly. Jocelyn had the heater on yesterday, and today she's blowing the heat. It was 82 degrees in my house. She was happy. Me, not so much. But we got an exciting show, so I better do the housekeeping real quick so we can get our guest in, because he's very sweet for sure. And I guess, as always, today's show is brought to you by friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And look at all that fun and adventure behind me. That's a lot, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stocks more.
Yeah, nobody stocks more in the state of Florida for sure. We got everything. And we got some Black Friday specials. We talked about, I think that was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. We talked about it last
Monday.
Not this past Saturday, the Saturday before. So,
and we did on Monday too. So, of course, I better do the rest of my housekeeping. I forgot what I was supposed to say. That's pretty bad. I've been doing it long enough. Today's show is brought to you by friends of Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, Jeff Monin, or Joe Beasy, Big Poppy.
And just wanted to answer Digging Canucks question. Yes, that is a goalie stick. I don't know if you remember, we had a famous Lightning goalie, and his name was Hobby Lowland, and which there's been quite a few years back. I was fortunate enough to meet him, and I got him to sign his hockey stick for me.
Awesome. That's a cool collectible. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk, before I was so rudely interrupted, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting of all forms, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And of course, this month we've been doing a lot of clubs, and because I'm involved in a couple clubs, and I think they're a very important part of the metal detecting. And it looks like somebody's putting the. I better bring in the chairman of the other club, because he looks like he's getting rowdy in the green room. So let's bring our guest for tonight, Mr. Jim Bighorn, and he is the chairman of, let me get my shirt in there, Trumbull Treasure Hunters Club. Welcome, Jim.
Hey, welcome, guys. Jim. How you doing, brother?
Good to see you guys.
And we already talked about it, but we love that hat, Indiana Jones treasure hunting hat for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, my wife makes the shirts. As you can see behind me, we've got the thread on one side and we've got the T-shirts on the other. And Joe Vizzi's already put his order in for his Trumbull Treasure Hunter shirt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna wear it proudly.
He needs the 3X though. He's a big guy.
Yep.
Did you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, I'm pretending like I didn't.
Oh. I'm just giving him a hard time. All right, well, let's get started, because a lot of people have questions already. And of course, Jeff is not here tonight because he is moved and doesn't have his internet yet, and he'll be sorely missed. but we'll get the job done anyway. But he'll be back in a week or two when he gets internet in his new home, because he did move to Georgia, and he's doing all that right now. And I talked to him today. He's feeling better with his pneumonia's going away, so he's doing a-okay now. Anyway, if you have questions, just type them in the stream there, and we'll hope to get them answered. But before we get started here, Jim, real quick, tell the folks where you're at and what the temperature is.
Oh, I am in sunny. No, it's dark now. I was going to say sunny Northeast Ohio, but it is dark. We are in a little town called Cortland, Ohio. About a half hour west of the PA border and about an hour south of Lake Erie. So we call this, the North Coast is the big joke. This is the North Coast of Ohio, since we're right off of Lake Erie. I think it was about a balmy 34 degrees today.
Ooh, that's really cold. That's cold for us.
Yeah,
that's beautiful weather.
We've had a little bit of snow, had it melt off, and just a little windy.
Now, Jim, do you go up and hunt around Lake Erie?
Yeah, we've been up here and went beach hunting. We've been up there with Tom Becker and Sam Truckley and Jimmy Truckley. We went up there and done some beach hunting. And actually, Tom Becker got me into some water hunting this year because everything was so dry. And so we did the neck high, surf digging or water digging. No surf for us, but we had a lot of fun this year.
Awesome. Did you get some cool finds?
Yeah, I got a lot of rings, some a couple of necklaces, nothing really big, and a lot of coins. Everything was all current, clad coins, nothing silver. I did want to tell you, Kathy was chasing one around in the sand this summer, and she kept saying, "I know I've got it. I know I've got it." And she's got this little narrow scoop. I come over with my Treasure Talk Pro Sifter, and I give one swing over it, and I said, "Oh, I hear it," and one big swallow with that big wide scoop, and I pulled a ring out that she kept missing, was chasing around.
Is it a gold ring?
No, it was a religious ring. It was quite a big one.
Interesting.
But I think it was sterling silver.
It's easier when you have the bigger scoop.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. If you, like, I see a lot of folks will come in, they'll have some scoop they got off of Amazon or eBay or whatnot, and they're like, this big. And I just shake my head. They're asking for a handle for it because they just bought the scoop.
Right.
And I said, man, you should send that back. You need a big scoop, especially, I know it might be different where you're at, but here in our beaches, you got to have a big scoop because the target could be 2 or 3 scoops deep with the detectors we have today. And if you've got a tiny little scoop, you're spending 15 minutes to get one target.
Like I always say, more real estate when you have a bigger, wider scoop.
And you guys are battling the surf too. You want that big gulp of sand before that surf comes back in on you.
Yeah, and fills it back in. So yeah, you got to do it. We're in the Gulf, so most of the time we're hunting when it's the Gulf is flat. It's easier. I mean, I have hunted in the waves before, but it's no fun getting knocked down and losing your glasses. It's no fun doing that. So I try not to do it. But Jim, why don't you tell us about your club? How many members? How long you've been in existence, and your position in the club, and all that good stuff.
Well, I am currently the chairman of the group. Kathy helps me run it. And then Tom Becker, we drug him along for the ride. He helps out with it as well. We have been in existence. I think we're going into the end of our 3rd year. I'm the second chairman. The first chairman that had started the club, he ran it for about a year and a half. And then he turned it over to me. And currently, on the Facebook page, we have 400 some followers. But as far as the group meetings go, we get, I don't know, anywhere from 20 to 30, maybe 35, depending on what's going on.
Oh, that's a good size group to start
Mhm.
with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For only being around a few years.
Yeah.
Did you start just after the COVID virus? Must have.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
And what we pride in is people that are interested in the hobby, or they find themselves as a novice, or maybe they haven't been into it for some time. They see the hobby starting to pick up, get popular. They want to get back into it. We're always going over the different equipment that's available. I'm always throwing stuff up on our site, whether it be Mind Lab, XP, uh, Nota, whoever has the new equipment out there or something that they're breaking loose. I don't play favorites. We've had uh, Liz on as a live stream. I had the guys on from Quarter Hoarder, Jason and Dog Tag and Charlie. We had them on for a live stream. So yeah, we like to spread it out. Guys and gals, we have just as many women as we do guys in the group, which is
yeah,
interesting.
that is interesting because that has been a major change, I think, in detecting over probably the last 10 years. Because I know, Joe, when you first started in the air club, it was mostly all guys.
It was all guys, but we definitely have started to getting a little bit of an influx of women joining the club, uh, enjoying the hobby, and they tell their friends, and then their friends go ahead and come in and join the club as well. So it's pretty good. It's all about fun and camaraderie and learning from one another. That's what we do at our meetings.
I really didn't know a lot of people outside of our group. And I talked to, got to know Tom Becker from coming to our meetings. He's a crossover from one of the local groups. And we went to a hunt together down in, what was it, North Carolina last spring. I won't mention which hunt. And we happened to run into some crazy guy named Jeff Monin, him and Mumbles Man, Tim.
Yeah.
We got to meet them. Got to meet a lot of great detectors. So made a lot of good connections with people. I've stayed in touch with a lot of the YouTubers. Therefore, I ask them, hey, can I put you on a live stream? And they say, sure, why not? And so it gives the our members a lot of different views from different people. Like Liz, from a female perspective, the ladies in the group absolutely loved it. Um, and then we had one lady that just swooned over Jason from Quarter Orders. She couldn't wait to get over there for that meeting. Um, but we like to get out and do a little bit of hunting together if we can. Um, it sometimes it's a nice turnout, sometimes it isn't. You just sometimes it's a win, sometimes it's a loss. I just go with the flow.
Do you have a hard time getting permissions for your group to do hunts?
Yeah, it's usually if there's one or two people, they're fine. But you start, saying, well, you get the permissions like, well, I'm the chairman of a group. I'd like to bring down a few people, and then you get that twitch, and
Yeah.
there's like, no, I'll just would like to keep it with just you guys. I don't want any insurance liability, and so I'm like, I understand. So a lot of times we do any group hunts. The state park out here, I did this as a teaching session for our new members. They have a archery course out here, and it is field tips only, and everyone shoots carbon fiber arrows. So all you're finding or looking for is that insert with that field tip. It's only about that big. You talk about an exercise getting people out there to metal detect those tips, tell you how deep they are, and then I go out and dig them up, and we pull the arrows up, and then we turn them back into the clubhouse. So the guys have lost their arrows now have them back.
Yeah, that sounds funny because Phil knows I shoot archery competitively. So the club I belong to, archery, after everybody's done with the shoot, I'll go out there with my metal detector. Phil knows this because I tell him I'll find 40, 50 arrows. even the old ones that were all aluminum shafts,
Right.
find those as well. But you're absolutely correct. The field tip or the insert from the field tip in the front, that's the only thing you're going to pick up, because the carbon fiber, the new arrows, you're not going to get that at all. It's just the tips. It's very tedious to find those. I can tell you that.
Well, the state park at first said they didn't want us in there. And then I asked them, well, how many arrows do you guys run over in a year? You know, the aluminum, carbon fiber.
Yeah.
I said, plus we're digging them out of the ground. You're getting them back to your shooters. It's giving my folks a chance to hone their metal detecting skills. And we're keeping your range clear of garbage. Anything we find, we pack out. And it didn't take long before I got permission to do it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Cool.
That is really cool. That's a good way. Now, do they let you hunt all over the park?
Yes, anything in the state of Ohio. This is great ground. It depends on the manager of the campgrounds, but the state of Ohio says that any state park, that any part of it where they're not making any money off of it. Say the campgrounds, you know, they're making money off of it, so that's off limits. As far as the park itself, where they have the tot lot or the beach area, picnic area, yeah, that is not non-income producing. So yes, we're allowed to metal detect it.
Jocelyn just told me Tom's asking where's Kathy at.
Kathy is in the other room and she's watching on her phone. She isn't feeling very good, and so she didn't want to look, you know, peeked and.
I understand you for sure.
So I knew Tom was going to bring that up. I see a couple of people said hello to me. Dirty Paws, I saw that pop up. Tom Becker said hi. I also saw where Tom mentioned when I mentioned the big scoops. You know, where we're digging, you're lucky if you could see your feet in 3 feet of water. The water's so dirty. So that's another reason those big scoops come in handy.
Yeah, when I noticed that too. Most of the time I try to hunt when it's not nice and clear, but some of the inner bays and different areas I'll hunt, the water can be dark or cypress color, and a bigger scoop does make it easier, especially if you're not good at pinpointing. A bigger scoop's going to help you there too, for sure.
Well, another thing we pride ourselves on is if someone comes in with a detector, say like Garrett, that I might not be familiar with, we'll find someone in the group that is, and then we'll team them up with them. Say, hey, you want to do me a favor and show them a little bit about that detector?
Awesome. Now, does your club do any seeded hunts?
We tried one last year. It didn't turn out very well. I think there was about 5 or 6 people that showed up. So we did not do anything this year. When I took over the club, I said I would do it for 6 months to see how it went, if we could grow it or what we could do. That 6 months has now turned into a year as of last month, I think. I've been at it a year now. So we will probably do something next summer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our club here in Tampa and the one in Largo, across the bay from us, they'll do seeded hunts. They do them on the beach, and it's real easy for them to plant the stuff. They're doing it in sand, and they're just throwing it or dropping it, and nothing steep. And it only lasts, what, about 20 minutes, Joe?
Yeah, it's like a frenzy out there once it starts, because everybody's definitely going to find silver.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we do. The club, I think this year is going to put like 2,000 or more into the ground between silver and tokens. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, but it usually lasts about maybe 15, 20 minutes, because it's like a frenzy.
I haven't done them in the past myself. I've been there, participated, helped the club pull it off, but I hadn't done them. But the last 2 times I think I've done it, and it's pretty fun. For me, for about 10 minutes, it's fun. I find a bunch of silver, and then after 10 minutes, I said, let someone else find the silver. Yeah. But our club here in Tampa and the one in Largo also, they have fin finders or ring finders groups, who will go out and volunteer and find stuff for people. And they do it for no money. It's donation if you want to. So a lot of times they'll get nothing, and sometimes they get a lot. And that's what they do with the money. They'll use it to buy silver coins and prizes. And Jocelyn is pointing at me to read the question. Stacy R says, "What detectors do you use, Jim?" And also for Kathy, which ones is she using?
Oh, well, let's see here. I started out swinging a white, a IDX Pro, and went from there to a XLT. That machine I still own. That thing will hang on the wall forever, and I still pull it down and hunt with it. Um, I was swinging a Nota Simplex Plus. I jumped to the Legend from there. Uh, I'll tell you in a second why I jumped to the Legend. Kathy, she took up wanting to dig with me. So I was using my XLT then. So I bought her a used XLT so we could swing together. And she decided the XLT was too heavy. The battery pack in the back was weighing her arm down. And so she got to looking at the Notas, and she bought a Legend. Absolutely loved it. In the meantime, I picked up a Simplex Plus as a primary, put the XLT up as the backup. So anywho, Kathy then decided to go to a CTX 3030, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought the XLT was too heavy.
Yeah, that CTX is definitely heavy.
Yeah. So her Legend sat in the corner, and I'm like, no, you can't put that baby in the corner. You got to get that thing out and use it. And so I pulled it out, and I've been using it ever since. And meanwhile, Kathy put up the CTX, and she just purchased a Manicore from Phil here just a couple of months ago. Yeah. And she's tearing up the dirt with that Manicore.
Yeah. And, the Manicore's I think an upgrade, well, a lighter upgrade from that CTX. It has similar features. So it's so much lighter that you could put that small coil on it and really do well with it in trashy environments. I like the Manicore myself. And it looks like we got another question from this one is from the Mumbles man, Tim Naylor. It's most unusual find. That's his question.
She's sitting in the other room. Let's see, my most unusual find. I did dig up a 1908 dog tag that I never expected to find one that old. So to me, that was kind of unusual. I'm sure I'll think of something else here within a minute or two. Oldest coin I found is a seated dime in the county out in South Dakota where I used to live. Around the courthouse square, they had dug up all the sidewalks, and I went in to ask if I could metal detect in there, and they said just stay out of our way. And that seated dime was actually underneath the stonework, that was they were using as a retaining wall for the dirt. It was underneath the sidewall, off to the side of the sidewalk, and actually about 3 inches below the retaining wall. I dug that little bugger out.
That's cool.
But most unusual find, I got thinking about it. I found a huge token out in Vermilion, South Dakota for an old lumber yard that no longer existed. Big copper token for $1 value. I mean, that thing was honking. It was about the size of a doorknob.
And what time period do you think that was from?
I dated it back. It was like the 1890s.
1890. So a dollar would buy you a lot of stuff.
A lot of lumber.
Yeah, it was for dollar value. I don't think you could drop that thing and lost it. It was pretty big.
Yeah. And was it for a sawmill or what was it for?
Yeah, lumber mill.
And it was in dollar in value. Was it where you had the script you had to buy in the company store? Is that what it was?
Right. That's exactly what it was. It was company script.
Big token. Nice.
Yeah, that was just like a step above slavery.
Yeah.
Where you lived in the company house or a cabin, and they paid you in script, and you had to buy from the company. So, I'm sure you probably found that in West Virginia.
Well, That piece was actually out in South Dakota. We do have a lot of the old coal mining camps and that down in West Virginia, just like you're talking about. You know, you lived in company housing, you got paid by the company in script. You can only use it at the company store.
Company store. Yes, that was. I guess that's why we now have unions.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, for sure. So, have you found script like that in West Virginia from the coal mines, or
No, not yet.
okay? Yeah, to me, stuff like that's like a piece of history. I've got a few from few tokens here from logging companies here, were the same way here in Florida too. So they're just, to me, they're just cool finds. And
Another unusual find, back in the 40s, they used to put little aluminum tokens in like dish soap powder, and they were actually coupons for a different type of dish detergent or something that the same company may have, had. So it was actually aluminum token. Well, you talk about something singing when you hit it with a metal detector.
oh yeah, yeah, they do. But I think the brass tokens hold up better.
Mm-hmm.
At least they do here. It looks like we got a question from Bob Kulik, and he's asking your oldest historical find.
Just dug those up not too long ago. We were in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and one of my contacts down there would be James McCormick, LT Gun Truck from YouTube. He is a U.S. veteran, and he has a service dog, Bravo. His German Shepherd. Him and Bravo do a lot of digging together. Kathy and I went down to visit with him a few weeks ago and had the opportunity to dig up some Civil War relics.
Oh, cool.
And Miss Kathy dug up a 58 and a 69 caliber three ringers. I got them both as well, but mine happened to be smashed. Mine had impacted something. But Kathy has two nice instances of clean bullets.
Okay, cool. Well, we get this question a lot. I always ask this one myself, but Stacy beat me to it. Ever dig a gold coin?
Gold coin. Out in South Dakota, it was a snowy morning, about 35 degrees. They had the sidewalks tore up in town. They didn't want anybody bugging me, so I went out digging by myself. I figured it's so cold, nobody's going to come out and ask me what I'm doing. And I opened the plug and could see the reeded edge of that coin. I saw it was gold. Reached in with my eyes closed, had that coin in my hand, saw that reeded edge and everything, opened up my eyes. I see an eagle and I see stars. My heart started pumping. I didn't realize what I was looking at. I flipped it over and it said no cash value. It was a token.
I've done the exact same thing. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, so no gold coins. I got fooled really bad at one time.
Yeah. That's on our bucket list, right, Phil?
It is. I think we have a better chance of finding them because I've had customers come in, even kind of new detectors come in, and they find them, but it's in a piece of jewelry, like a $5 coin, but it's in jewelry that they found in the water. Yeah, in a bezel or in a ring. I've seen a lot found. Jocelyn found one at a Whites of Southeast. They were doing a training seminar.
Yeah.
So she's never swung a detector, so she goes out there with me and all the other white dealers, and there's a gold coin that they had seeded, and she got it. So I was really mad.
Looking over in the comments, I love Ricky T's there. I owe my soul to the company store.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an old country song.
That is. I got to remember the rest of it. I should be able to pull that up. But yeah, Jocelyn's yelling at me. What's this? Look what I found. It's a gold coin. So, bummer.
They like to stick it back in your face, don't they?
Oh, they do. They do. And like she come home from a grocery store right around the corner, Save-A-Lot, and she's got a handful of Mercury dimes she got in the change. And I'm like, oh.
She's
Or
just
that,
luckier than you, Phil.
yeah, she is. And then she goes yard sale and comes, oh, look at these rings I bought.
Oh,
3
nice.
gold rings, $1 each. I'm
One thing,
hanging up my
one thing I did want to mention about our club, I failed to mention earlier, we are not, I don't have anything set up with the government yet as far as nonprofit. So we do not collect any money, for memberships. We are on donations only.
yeah,
So that keeps us limited on what we can do as well.
right. Well, you in the future, if you could always do that. It's
Right.
something to do down the line. Our club has been incorporated, I think, in the Tampa Club anyway, since I think 1978. So it's got a lot of history with it. Because I think clubs here in Florida, there's a lot more retired folks that are into it and we're into it. So that's why they're sometimes, I think the largest one is Central Florida. I think one of the largest ones in the country is right here in the Orlando, Daytona area.
Yeah, DeBarry.
Where?
DeBarry.
The Barry.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear that. It sounded like you said something different.
No, DeBarry.
The Barry, Florida.
Yeah, I drive all the way out there for an Italian market.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's worth it. That's a long drive.
Yeah, once a month.
Yeah, I used to attend all their meetings for like a year or two, but I-4 has gotten so bad cutting across the state. A 2-hour drive is now 4 or 5 hours sometimes. So I couldn't do that. So do you guys, so you educate your members then, Jim, on the different detectors?
Yes. Yeah, and anything new that comes out, I always make it a point to point it out to them. Any of the giveaways I see from the different YouTube groups or whatever, I'll throw them out there, let them know they're available. Or if I see a show that might be interesting to someone, I try to throw it out there so they know it's available.
Okay. Well, cool. And I just was reading, and it went by too quick for me, and I should have asked you about this. What is your digging season? When does the ground get frozen?
Well, right now it's just been kind of warm and a little bit rainy, really not froze yet. Sometimes we're froze up by now. And then I would say March, end of March, getting into April, it'll start to thaw out a little bit.
So, like the end of November to March, you guys aren't hunting?
Right. That's usually when I'm sitting there and I got my nose in the books and I'm doing a little bit of research. I start playing around with maps and software. I can't think of the one right off the top of my head. I can actually take a photo of an old map and then use Google Maps and switch back and forth between the two maps and get current waypoints on both maps. Once you get so many waypoints in on that picture, that map now becomes GPS enabled. So I can drive along, any dirt road or anywhere, even a farm field, and say I have an 1830s map. It'll show me where those homesteads were in 1830. And that's how we located a farm a week and a half ago in a soybean field. Kathy went out and Ed and I went out, hit it, started digging up some bullets, modern. And then I got looking on my maps and found that there had been a home there, followed the topographical map. We got on top of the old homestead. We started finding pieces of plate. I found an axe head, part of an old cast iron skillet. And then that's when we start getting in on the buttons.
Now, that was in the soybean field. So was the house, was it in the middle of the fields?
No, it was only about 100, 150 feet back off the road.
Oh, okay. Interesting. For sure.
Once you find a debris field, you start hitting, you just open up the detector, you start hitting iron, and you start finding little fragments of plates and stuff on top of the ground. Then I just retuned, start looking for coins.
Yeah, as a kid, we used to bottle hunt all the time in Maryland in old farming areas. And we would always figure out in the fields where the house was at. because now it's all plowed under. You could find the debris easy. And then we'd look for the closest tree line and just go dig in there. And we'd always find them. And they wouldn't be deep, they'd be shallow. Down here, the bury the stuff 3 or 4 feet deep. So
we got a new permission a couple of months ago. We went in to check, and of course, it was still too green, slightly wooded, but a lot of light getting through. So there's a lot of understory plants in there and weeds. We ran across the old bottle pile. We went back a couple of days later with 4 or 5 gallon buckets, and we filled up every one of them and brought them home. I'm still cleaning those up.
Interesting, for sure.
Did you find any Hutch bottles?
Pardon?
Were you able to find any Hutch?
No, I haven't got into anything that old or that deep yet. This one that we just found, it's promising. We'll have to get in there in the spring and start excavating it, get down a couple layers and see where we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. We got a question here from Dirty Paul's Detecting. So you have speakers at your club?
Yes. I try to get one every meeting. We meet once a month. Most of them are live streams.
Yeah. So you're just having a speaker on the stream.
Yeah.
And where's your club meeting at?
There is the Ohio State University has a extension office right here in Trumbull County. Well, actually, right here in Cortland, where we're at. The county ag center is there as well, and they have a huge meeting room with all the audio visuals. Seat about 50 people. We've got an overhead projector, everything.
Oh, nice.
So, and it's free of charge. All I do is go down there and set up a schedule, and we meet down there once a month. They just ask you to pack out your trash.
Oh, that's nice. We're so used to picking up trash, we don't have any problem with that, do we?
Yeah. No, we don't. I always come out with a lot more than I went in with.
Yeah. You know, we had an event here at the shop and we were planning it, and Jocelyn's telling me, oh, it's going to take you a long time to clean up all the trash. I said, there better not be one piece of trash on the ground or somebody's going to get chewed out, because we don't do that. Our hobby is about cleaning things up, not putting it back. And it looks like we got a comment by my friend Robert Ridgway II. He was in. He says, Phil, thanks for having in stock the LG24 for my Legend, also taking the time explaining the different features of numerous detectors to my brother. Well, thank you, Robert, and thank you for your service too. So get back on it. Do you guys, I was just reading the newsletter from the other club we had on here, the Largo Club, and they have they publicize in their newsletter, and I got the wrong calendar.
Oh yeah.
Treasure Hunters Code of Ethics. Do you guys go through those?
Oh yes. Yes, we do.
You know,
matter of fact, I wish I had my phone sitting here, because on the back of my phone, on my clear cover of my phone, I have 2 business cards. One of them is my card for the Trumbull Treasure Hunters. It has our code of ethics on the back of it. And the other one is some metal detector guy in Florida somewhere. Myers Metal Detecting, I think. I've got one of his cards. And when people ask me, where do you get your gear? And I'm like, pull out your phone, take a picture. And they take a picture of your card on the back of my phone. And
well, I appreciate that for sure. And I have
appreciate it. Yeah.
A lot of calls. Yes.
Well, Tom, you have Tom Becker to thank for that. Tom has preached and preached your good name ever since I've seen him down at the club.
Yeah. Well, Tom is a good guy too, and I think I just sent him a what did I send him? Oh, one of the travel handles for his titanium scoop.
Oh, I was hoping he bought that for me.
Well, maybe he did. You don't know. Might be a Christmas.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah.
There you go. And it looks like we got a message here from Martin Bishop. If Phil doesn't have it in stock, you don't need it.
That's true.
Yeah. Although there is something that I ran out of. Oh, the MindLab Xterra Pro. I've got more of those on the way in. I sold my last one online, so more of those are on the way. But I have every other one.
Would you find out about your Vortex? You still only getting one?
I'm only getting one, and I still haven't seen it shipped yet. So it'll when it gets here, somebody will be happy.
Yeah. I'll have to ask Brandon Nicholas what's going on with those. I've got a good rapport with him from Adventure Archaeology. He's a digger for Garrett.
Right. I'm sure it's going to be a good detector. It's just it's taken a while to come out because I think we were supposed to have them in July, I thought. And here now we're at
tweaking it, Phil.
On what?
Remember, they're tweaking it because something wasn't right. So before they released it to the masses, they are trying to fix some issues they had with it.
Something about a leak in one of the ports or something. They were getting a leak in the case and they're redesigning the case.
Oh, interesting. Well, I know White's, who's no longer with us, they rolled out the MX Sport, and I personally know people who sent their detector back 3 different times. And that was a bad rollout, so we don't want to see that for sure.
Right.
No bad rollouts.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you follow the different Facebook pages, you see a lot of people having a lot of different issues. Some of it, I think, is they're new to the hobby. Some of the coils, they might wind them up a little too tight, and they start to break. In both the connector on the back of the machine or down at the base of the coil. The end starts to fray back. And you can start seeing the wires. I see a lot of that. People are complaining about it, and it could be just winding. How you wind your coil wire around your shaft, and then you don't have that flexibility. In your coil
on it, right? And
it pulls
because it's so tight that it, you want the coil to be able to move up and down a little and not be that tight. And we did get a question on here that I don't think Jocelyn popped up from Stacy. Did you approach the farm owner for that permission?
Oh yes, yes. She is our local senior center. I knew she had some property, and I asked her about it, and they had already planted for the spring. And I asked her if I could get in there in the fall. And what was funny is 2 of our senior members got a hold of me and said, "Hey, so-and-so that lives out in Kinsman." I said, "Yeah." We stopped over to metal detector property. And she said, "Sorry, Jim's already got dibs on it."
That's nice.
Yeah.
So
it's happened a couple of different times. But we have 2 particular guys that I think last year they had 80 different permissions that they hunted. And they drive around, they look at the foundations of the homes, to see what type of block, or if they're brick or stone foundations. And they'll go up there and door knock. And these guys, I mean, daily, they're pulling some nice stuff out of the ground.
Now, do you ever look for Indian artifacts?
I look. I never find, but I look.
Okay. Because, in Maryland, it was different. I'm sure your area is probably similar. We would look when they plowed the fields close to the rivers, close to water source. And after it rained and the field was plowed, they would be laying on top of the ground. You could see them glisten in the sunlight if it was a sunny day after it rained. It was a lot of fun doing that for sure.
Yeah. Some people really have the eye for it. They could be out there and spot them. And, detecting, looking at the ground, swaying a coil, and I have a tendency to look out ahead of me or around me, and I'm just listening, and once in a while I'll find something laying on top of the ground, but usually it's, it isn't much.
Yeah. Yeah, I found a few pieces here, metal detecting on land just by digging, and found an Indian arrowhead or something. Most of the time they're broken, but still it's cool to find them for sure.
We had we had a group out in South Dakota. A few of us got together and we were showing all of our finds. And one of the guys walked over and he goes, "Wow, you really got a lot of nickels there." He goes, "I never dig any nickels."
Ah,
And I said, "Huh." And then he walks on over. He goes, "Wow, where do you get all these square nails?" I said, "I dig them all the time." Because you know what? You turn your discrimination up, you get rid of them nails. I said, "Yeah, now I know why you're not digging any nickels."
yeah.
There
And
you go.
and if you're not digging the nickels, you're not digging the gold either.
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta dig the pull tabs. I know some people say they can tell on the manicore the shaping if it's a pull tab or not, and I don't see that. Has Kathy been able to see anything like that?
I was in some pine trees out in the front yard of this lady's house, and I had a good signal. I didn't know whether I wanted to chase it through the roots. And I asked Kathy to come over to that manicore and give it a swing. And I'm looking over her shoulder on the 2D screen, and it come out just perfectly round. And I said, "Okay, that's all I need to thank you." She walked off. I dug it up.
Was it a coin?
It was a coin, but unfortunately for me, it was a memorial penny.
Oh, that happens too. I hate it. You dig down a foot and get a memorial penny,
Yeah,
and you're in an old site. It's a bummer for sure.
that
So
it is.
so were we going to try to give something away, Joe?
Yeah, we can do a tonight. We'll give away a
A hat or something?
famous Myers loincloth, or I'm sorry, towel, as Jim would say, a loincloth. Give away a hat and a towel, and I'll pack it up Saturday when I'm at the shop because I'm definitely going to be there this Saturday.
Yeah, he wasn't here last Saturday, so I don't even know if I shipped out. Didn't we have a winner last week? I can't remember if I
Yeah,
shipped.
we'll double check the email, and whatever we need to send out, I'll pack it all up on Saturday.
All right, so now I guess I got to go to the. I hate doing this.
Whoever wins tonight, I guarantee you're going to get a good swag pack. What Phil doesn't know won't hurt him.
Joe, I'm gonna. Yeah, you can say all that, but you got to lead the show here because I got to remember how to do all this.
No worries, no worries. And so you're Jim. So you said you don't hunt then from the end of November, which is now, all the way through till March.
Yeah, whenever we thaw out, that's when I usually get out and start digging again.
Yeah, I'm going actually to Ohio next Halloween.
Okay.
And I'm going to be over there for like 7 to 10 days. A good friend of mine, he hunts there, deer hunts. So he invited me, and all I hunt is archery. He invited me to go, and he sent me some pictures of the ones that are on the property, and these are mammoth. You know it. You live out there.
We grow some nice deer.
Oh, they're so much bigger than the ones that I've harvested. I've got a real nice one out of South Carolina, Georgia, a couple of nice ones out of Florida, but nothing to that magnitude. So once I find out exactly what town or close proximity, I'll
county?
reach out to you for sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because I know the drive from Tampa is 18 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he told me. It was an 18-hour drive. So it'll be quite the trip.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
It's going to be like a once in a lifetime. And I told him, I said, if I do harvest one of those real big ones, in my office here, I only have a spot for one more mount, and then I'm probably going to hang it up.
Yeah.
So and then I'll concentrate on just metal detecting as my my main hobby then. Because I like to be outdoors. That's just the way I am. I'm an outdoor guy.
Did I do that yet?
There it comes.
There you go. Hashtag swag.
Swag. Jocelyn's yelling at me. Write down how you did it so you don't forget.
And folks, those of you that tuned in, you have to put it in exactly as it's shown.
Yes, exactly like that.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of people entering. That's good.
Good. Yes, that's good. So we're going to do this, and hopefully we'll get it on the screen at the same time and draw it. So
I'd like to mention one of the classes that Tom Becker had with our group one day. He brought out a sheet of paper. He marked down inches, by a quarter inch and out to about 3 or 4 inches. He had all of us bring out our pinpointers, and then he'd use a quarter and start moving in, to see where your pinpointer would actually beep to show you what kind of detection depth you were getting. And at the time, I was using one of the old White's pinpointers. Oh, that thing went in a drawer right after we did that test. I was getting like a half-inch detection depth off to the tip of that pinpointer. I threw it in a drawer, and I got me a Fisher.
yeah. So which whites were using the bullseye?
Yeah, Bill Bullseye.
It was a square one.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause their newer one, there, of course, they're gone now. But they had the TRX, and it was pretty deep. It was as deep as the Garrett, and it would do like 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah. I think Tom still has one of those, and yeah, they do well.
A lot of the new pinpointers that have come out, Nocta's come out with a really nice one, the AccuPoint. That's a really good pinpointer. You from all the companies, so everybody profits from everybody coming out with these latest and greatest pinpointers. You got the Garrett Carrot, you got that new MindLab 40. Like I said, the Nocta AccuPoint.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Deus companies has theirs. It's really nice. That what's that? The MI6, right, Phil?
Yeah, and all those are wireless. Go through your headphones if you want.
Correct.
Kathy got me an AccuPoint for Christmas last year, and I have it paired up with the Legend in my headset. It works great.
Yeah, it's a good pinpointer. I've tried it, played around with it. It's really nice.
Absolutely, and I just want to remind folks, as Jocelyn says, remind folks we have the calendars. It will be in the swag pack too.
So you're going to get a calendar if you want it or not. You're going to get a beautiful Myers metal detector calendar.
Yes. And Martin Bishop says, I like the Fisher F Pulse. It's good on the beach as well.
Yes. Matter of fact, Phil, I won an F Pulse from you.
Yes.
Over a year ago. That's the one I was using until Kathy got me that AccuPoint.
Yeah. So, it works good on the beach because it's a pulse, so it's not affected by salt at all. So you guys ready to do the drawing?
Get them.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take it away, Phil.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Let me see if I can do it.
You can do it.
See, I got a white screen here when I do this, so I always think I'm losing you guys. I'm going to draw and view in StreamYard. Hey, I got it.
Look at that.
Woo!
Tom Becker.
That's too funny. Well, Tom, you're the winner.
I think you need to redraw that.
Oh, that's too funny.
That's good luck for Tom. And Tom, just so you know, you're definitely getting an artistic sausage.
Ooh.
You'll be getting a painted sausage in that swag pack.
I think that's a Big Mama sausage there.
Absolutely.
Oh, goodness.
Like Jeff says, the sausage.
Yes, for sure. So I can't believe I got that right on the first crack. I'm always nervous about doing that because Jeff normally does it. So I think I figured it out finally. So let's keep going with this and tell Tom what he has to do.
Oh, I see Tom Becker put on there that no, I am not getting that carbon shaft.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where is the email? There you go. I even got that right. Tom, you got to send an email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, or actually, I have your email. You could send it to me. That might be faster, so Jeff doesn't have to get it and send it to me. So just send it to me. And then let's see here. How can we stop sharing the screen? Stop sharing. There we go. I even got that right.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention, if I may.
Go ahead.
I am a big person. I am big into people being organ donors. I myself am a donor recipient. December 1st of this year, I'll be 3 years double lung transplant recipient.
Double lung.
So yeah, double lung.
Congratulations, brother. You look good.
I always, put it out there. If you get to the chance, be an organ donor.
Yeah, it's on my driver's license.
Yeah, I'm a donor too, because I had it's on my driver's license too. But for years, my other business, I was in printing, and we printed a lot of stuff for one of the largest eye banks in the country, the Lions Eye Bank here in the state of Florida, in Ybor City, Florida. And ever since I started working for them like 40 years ago, I became an eye donor. I put it on my driver's license. So I understand that's a good thing to do, because when you're gone, you don't need those.
That's it. That's it. One thing I found out interesting is I am an organ donor myself. So when the day comes and I'm gone, my lungs are not available for transplant. You want to guess why? They're not mine.
They're not yours. Oh, that's wild.
Interesting there, Jim.
Yep.
So did you have you got a lung transplant because you had lung cancer of some sort?
Lung disease, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis was the name of it.
Okay.
It means I had scar tissue within the lungs. They have no idea what caused it. My lungs would not process oxygen into my bloodstream, nor would it let carbon dioxide out.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. You look fantastic.
Thank
Would
you.
have never known. God bless you.
Thank you.
Now, Jim,
every day I wake up is one I shouldn't have had.
Well, you look good, and I guess the hobby of metal detecting and walking has got to be good for you. That's what I tell people. I see people who are heavy when they start, and they get into this hobby and start detecting and walking every day. They lose weight. It's I think a very healthy hobby for sure.
It's a great hobby.
Yeah. My buddy James McCormick down in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, he always says on his videos about metal detecting, you're not going to find it sitting on a couch.
No, you're not. And your detector's not going to pay for itself being in the closet. You got to get out there and use it to find some treasure for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well,
look at that time, Phil.
Yeah, it's that time, isn't it? That hour went by super fast, didn't it? Didn't it, Jim?
It did. Talking to friends, it doesn't take long.
Absolutely. And
no, it doesn't. So hopefully,
I personally want to thank you, Jim, for coming on the show and meeting. I know we've had correspondence from the shop, but seeing, putting a face now with the name is priceless. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And
hopefully we'll get to see you guys one of these trips.
Yeah.
Or make a trip down that way to see y'all.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to thank you, Jim. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jocelyn. And thank you to the many members on here on Treasure Talk, YouTube, and Facebook, and all out there in the internet. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Last words from me. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving with you and your families and your loved ones, of course. And stay safe out there, right, Phil?
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, and call me on Black Friday. We got some deals.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.